Welcome to Chaparral Dog Park here this morning. What if you could buy a rental at 10% or less as a discount on the property? So you bought it for less than what it would go for on the average market out in the open marketplace. But also you had a pro forma tenant in that property who had qualified for that home and is currently living in there paying monthly rent, call it, with no maintenance. Well, they've agreed to pay for all of the maintenance, management, insurance, and property taxes. Sounds like a great rental program, right? And being in Arizona, hypothetically, in a great market, that actually provides you monthly income without the headaches associated with a long-term rental strategy. Does that sound like a myth or too good to be true? Well, that's not the case. That's what it's like to be a note investor, buying a note, acquiring a position, and becoming the bank. In other words, you buy the interest of a property with a borrower in place, ultimately acquiring that position for less than what you would own that home for. And the tenant, in other words, borrower in this situation in a note investment strategy, is actually owns the property. So not only do you have no maintenance, management, insurance, and taxes, you created a homeowner who pays their own maintenance, insurance, property taxes, and management. So if you own more than 5 rentals and you understand the hardships of managing and getting calls from tenants about your property, it has issues, your toilet's clogged, the AC unit needs to be recharged, those are common hardships associated with owning multiple doors, and trying to scale that is easier said than done. You end up hiring a management company. The management company wants to start charging more every single year because things go up. You could subvert those hardships within your strategy by becoming the bank and buying a note for virtually what you would pay for a rental nowadays. Average rental price of a single family property, something that's turnkey for $450,000. For a DSCR loan at a 20% down payment, you're going to be upwards of $100,000 out of pocket, probably have $20,000 in rehab to the property possibly, and that will ultimately be about $120,000. For that same $120,000, you could acquire a note and start cash flowing in as little as a 30-day program with no maintenance, property taxes, insurance, all the above, creating a homeowner with $120,000 cash flowing $1,000 or more a month with no hardships like long-term rental strategies. Become the bank today and start cash flowing in as little as a 30-day program, and learn more at mobilemailboxmoney.com. Free education, free masterminds. We have upwards of $500,000 in positions immediately available. Today is brought to you by Silvercrest Opportunity Fund. Invest accredited and earn a 10% net return or better with terms as low as 1 year. Accredited with our 506C Reg D offering. Everyone have a great Saturday. Bam.